So I was scrolling through threads and I found this one right here where the thread was, what are the things you disagree with when converting to Islam? I'll go first, changing your name. Now, a lot of people, most of the thread was about that particular thing about changing one's name once you become Muslim. But, and they kind of went off on a rant about whether or not you really need to change your name or not. But this comment right here really interested me. Backpacking with Cali, changing the way I dress. Was thinking about reverting to Islam but wasn't ready to make massive changes to the way I dress. I have made some small changes and was told by more than one person that I could never be Muslim if I wear shorts. It's 100 degrees with 75% humidity where I am. Sorry, but I'm not wearing pants. I dress for comfort, not for the male gaze, and I get ogled regardless of how much I cover up. So I might as well wear what makes me comfortable. Also, the haram police are obnoxious AF. All right, so this person right here is Dean with a picture of a man holding a guitar and a t-shirt in a cafe. All things that Muslim women should not be doing. Responded, "Hi, Callie, you can take your time to change how you dress. Just start to wear modestly and eventually you will understand and welcome to the concept of covering up. Everyone understand that the transition can be tough, but experience the transition of spiritual first before you explore the lifestyle change." So of course I had to pipe in and I wrote, "How would you know? Your picture is of a man. Why don't you cover up and tell us how much you like it?" So then as Dean responded, "You're right. I'm a man. I wouldn't know. But don't you think I live amongst women? I have no idea who you live with or what. Muslim women who have no issue covering up, living in 35 Celsius all year with 80% humidity." And I said, "No, you need to be quiet and not talk about things that have nothing to do with you. You cover yourself completely and tell us about your experiences then. That is all." And I wanted to highlight this because it represents really what hijab represents to most people, and it's just something to benefit the male gaze, and they just assume that women are just loving this because they're all doing it. In many Muslim countries, in certain Muslim countries, I should say, like Saudi Arabia, which is the big kahuna, it's not a choice. You have to cover up. We know what's happening in Iran with the protests that were going on with the hijab and the woman that was thrown into prison for not wearing her hijab the proper way, showing some hair, I think it was, and eventually some people have been killed over this. So this is not just this wonderful thing. And I think if you can't relate, if you're not Muslim, if you didn't come from a family, there are so many men who will talk about, "Oh, my mother was a single mother and she never complained. She just worked 5 jobs, had 10 kids. Her husband never did anything for her but come home and beat her once in a while, but she was so strong and she never complained. She loved it. Why aren't you like that?" You do not know what is going on inside a woman's head. And it's hard to even try to begin to understand that when you don't regard women as individual people with unique wants and desires, just like yourself, sir. Some women do not like to cover up. Some women are going to get very hot. Some women are just, I grew up in North Carolina. It wasn't so much that I was just so hot, because I'm sure everybody was hot during the dog days of summer. And sometimes it actually does benefit you to cover shield your body from the sun. As you see people who really work in the sun, they're shielding their bodies from the sun. They're not showing skin. So I understand that concept, that if it's hot, it's just hot. But I don't like things wrapped around my neck. It makes me feel constricted. But apparently, this is the wonderful and the most best way that you can show your love of God. Men like to look at women in a certain way and say, "This is how I like the woman to be, so that's how she should be." Doesn't matter if you're comfortable or not. And in this case, it doesn't matter for this new convert who, she loved Islam enough to convert, and, whatever it was about the religion that she loved. However, if you don't put these clothes on, then you can't be close to God. Figure that one out. And men, before you decide to mansplain and decide to tell women what it is they like to wear, I told him, why don't you walk a mile in those shoes? You cover yourself up in the proper hijab or a burqa or a abaya and walk around all day. Keep the t-shirt on, put the abaya on, put the guitar down, because that would be causing too many people to look at you. Not to mention the Muslims who believe that music is actually haram. You do that, and then you tell us about your experiences. I'll listen to that because those are your experiences, but do not try to tell women what they should do, or definitely what they should think or how they think.